So let's get started. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. So a couple of people have asked, why, Amie, why do you rub your hands together and do this connection? And I say that it's really about how we are harmonizing the masculine and feminine, which is interesting because that is our topic today, the masculine and feminine energies, the sun and the moon, and the light and the dark, and the energy of the left and the right brain. So we're really just thinking about how to harmonize all of this so we can live in a space of grace. And I think it's incredibly useful to really physically do something and then press it into your heart space and just breathe into that. So that's why I do that. And it's also something I do every time I sit to meditate, just to get myself grounded. So now that we're all grounded, hi Dina, thanks for joining. Here we are. So universal law has been our topic for the past 12 conversations. So I'm excited to bring this to its head, I guess you can say. And if you're new to my page, if you're like, Amie, who are you? What's going on? I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Amie Barsky, and I'm a self-love and empowerment coach. And what that means is I guide my clients through past trauma and limiting beliefs, and we do it through subconscious reprogramming, and it allows them to restore their confidence, their self-worth, so that they can reclaim the life that they truly want to live. Like, we all have this dream, or this, maybe like a facade, or something that feels unattainable, but the reality is anything that you can think of in here is obtainable if you really, in my opinion, believe in universal law, believe in doing the subconscious work and getting rid of all the limiting beliefs and any past trauma that's holding you back. And sometimes we don't even know it until we start to do that work. And it's a really exciting work, to be honest. I think it's fascinating. And when I go into my sessions with my coaches, I'm just like, whoa, where'd that come from? Oh shit, I thought I was done with that. It's interesting how stuff you've dealt with, I don't know, 5 years ago, last week, I don't know, an hour ago, and then something else can still come up. And that just means there's just a little more. It's like finding that needle in the haystack and really dissolving all of that. So that's what I do for my clients, and it's loads of fun, super rewarding, and I don't know, extra special, I think. I just feel so lucky to be able to do that with beautiful individuals. So if that's something you've ever considered in your life, to work with an empowerment coach, please DM me. Actually, I have 2 spots on my schedule right now opening up for summer. So if it's something you're interested in, give me a shout out, give me a call, or DM me privately, and let's do it. Let's set up a phone call to see if we're in alignment, to see if that's something that you feel would work for you. Because it's always about getting that relationship into a place of balance within ourselves to see if we actually have something to help each other out. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about universal law. Universal law is a way of living by ethics and values, and really just believing in the harmonization that everything is one and everything moves in a place of grace and energy, and that we are coming from the vibration of love. So yeah, let's see. Hi Deep, how are you? Harmonizing the masculine and feminine is feminine energy is important. Yes, it is. Breathing into it. So we're going to talk about that today. So first, let's talk about it. So we're talking about the law of gender. The law of gender manifests in all things that are masculine and feminine. All things are masculine and feminine energies. Everything. That's just the truth. That's the way it is. It is the truth. Hi, Anne-Marie. Thanks for joining. So it's a law that governs what we know as creation, right? The law of gender manifests the animal kingdom as sex. The law of gender decrees everything in nature as both masculine and feminine, and all of this is required to exist in life. It's a must-have. It's non-negotiable. Like, maybe you're talking about relationships and you're like, here's my deal breakers and here's my non-negotiables, right? This is a non-negotiable. It's just what it is. It exists everywhere. So the universal law embodies the truth that the gender resides in everything. And there's not one aspect of life that's just masculine or just feminine. And these principles, they work in hopefully in balance with each other. And it's true on these 3 planes that we talk about: the physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane. Now, in the physical plane, the principle manifests as sex, right? You're either feminine you're either male or female, right? Your physical body. But this takes a higher form in the other planes, in the spiritual plane and in the mental plane. But it's always the same. There's always masculine and feminine on both, and that's really important to understand. So it's possible for creation to take place in a physical, mental, and spiritual plane. In how do I say this? let me rephrase that. So it's impossible. I think I use the word possible. It's impossible for creation to actually take place without this law vibrating at a high level. And right, everything has a yin and a yang. Everything has its ups and its downs, which is one of the laws we talked about the other day. So on a physical plane, each person has their body. And so whether they're female or male, that's their physical body. However, psychologically, each person is actually androgynous. I think I'm saying that word right, androgynous. And so we all have the male and female qualities, and each person has a left and right brain. So this is just really important to understand that the path to higher consciousness is the path to balancing the masculine and feminine. It's really important. Hi, thanks for joining. To balance this masculine and feminine energy, just like we would balance, heaven and earth, like really just the earthly aspects of ourselves, because we're human beings living on this planet, and then the heavenly aspects of ourselves, the higher consciousness, right? And it's about proper balance also between the soul and the ego. And this is a tough one. I think can be a little challenging for some of us. The soul and the ego, really distinguishing what that looks like, what that feels like, so that we are always coming back to truth, coming back to our truth without the ego getting too out of line, or just, I don't know. I think for me, like sometimes things can get too woo-woo, and I'm like, I don't understand that. I'm a really big believer that like I need science to help me out here, and that's why I love Kundalini yoga so much, because it is science-based, and that's what universal law is. So in other words, let the ego take care of the physical body, right? But without getting it too far out, and then just really let things just creatively and I guess intellectually, logically, just come to that place, because our creative side is our feminine side, our logical side is our masculine side. So the closer we move towards this mastery, the more likely we'll achieve this place of balance and be able to stay there. And I think that's, it's like when we get to a place of bliss, we're like, oh my God, my life is feeling so perfect right now. And all of a sudden the other shoe drops, as we might say. So just being okay with that, being okay with the shifts that are gonna happen. So hi Armand, hi Jen, thanks for tuning in. So how do we master these genders? Well, let's look for the feminine for a moment. We'll look at the women in the world. As many of us, and I'll talk about this more personally in a moment, but many of us are running businesses, moms, running the household. No matter what your job is, whether it's a job outside the home and you're a mom, or it's just that job outside the home, regardless of what it is, we have society has brought us to a place, I feel, that lots of masculine energy, tons of masculine energy, especially from a woman. We are running the business, running the household, just really using our logic, using the doer, like we're the doer, we're doing things, we're doing a lot more. And so I really think it's important that women reconnect with their feminine. And I know for me, as I'm building my business, hi Andrew, thanks for joining. As I'm building my business, and I love it. I love what I do, but sometimes I'm doing too much doing, and I'm really driving that nail head, just like masculine energy of go, 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 meetings and community events and whatever it is that private clients and then classes, and then just, it's incredible. It really is. But when am I going to decompress? When am I going to rest in my feminine and really just embrace life and breathe? So for women, I encourage you. So yesterday, with my beautiful women's group, I have a Soul Society group that I'm incredibly proud of, and some of you are tuning in, so thank you. We are entrepreneurs, women who are basically helping each other, motivating each other, creating things so that our businesses can thrive. And one thing we had to do as we're coming to our quarterly end is celebrate our wins. And our mentor, Erin, asked us to do something for ourselves that celebrated that. So dropping into that or tuning into that feminine side. So I went and got a pedicure yesterday. I know, you need to see my feet. So it had been a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself to a pedicure. I am a doer. I like to do things, but I'm recognizing more and more that I need to step back into my feminine. And hi Abigail, and really commit to being soft and just softening my edges, because I like to be direct. and I like to just understand someone and be like, what does that mean? Because I think our words hold so much value. And sometimes I'm like, what does that mean? I want more of a direct, like, what are you trying to say? Like passive aggressive doesn't work well for me. And so it's interesting because, yeah, anyway, so that's enough about me. Anyway, so I wanted to give you, I wanted to give you some tools for women, for myself included, to get back in connection with our feminine side. And it could be something fun, like literally just go dance in your living room naked if you want to. Just like let it out and just enjoy, put on your favorite song. Maybe that looks like, or maybe for you, it's like going to a belly dancing class, something that gets you into your sensual side, a pole dancing class, a striptease class. Like, how fun is this? Like, reminding ourselves of that sensuality. And, it's interesting. Journaling is a very masculine thing to release, right? Because you get out what's on your mind and things that are weighing you down. But it can allow you to transition into your feminine, because you're almost like, I call it brain dumping or mind dumping. You're dumping everything out so that you can feel more at rest when you're trying to rest. You ever try to rest or take a nap or sit still and you're fidgeting all over the place? Or maybe I'm just talking about myself right now, but it happens. So here's another thing. So my point is finding stillness. And hi Molly, thanks for joining. So another thing is, I know for me, I had a really hard time doing this because, I lived by the saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself. It was like I would just do everything myself. I was like, forget it. I won't ask anyone for any help because I'm just gonna do it myself. It felt easier. But the reality is I was just putting more weight on my shoulders. I was just, making my life more stressful. So ladies, can you please let someone else take charge? Will you give the control up? Will you please just ask for help? Reach out and let others take some of that stuff off your plate. It's so important, so important, so important. This gives you time to focus on your emotions and really just acknowledging where you're at. And this is a fun one. Like, dress in something that makes you feel sensual, sexy, delicious, I don't know, yummy, flirty, right? So find something that makes you feel good. Maybe it's a new haircut. Maybe it's just putting on some lip balm and some mascara, whatever that is for you. Like for me, I love to put on jewelry. Jewelry for me, I feel like a goddess when I put jewelry on. And so I try every day to like put on some bracelets or, put a quick ring on real quick. It's just it's me reaching into my inner being going, I know I am wanting to get connected to my more feminine side. And then here's a fun one. Wear sexy underwear. Like, when's the last time you put a pair of sexy underwear on? That's what I want to know, right? Because I think sometimes, for me, they're not always the most comfortable and I like comfort. So that's my point there. But anyway, so throw on a pair of sexy underwear and then dance around the house. There you go. And affirmations are always really nice. It's a nice reminder of how freaking awesome you are and all of your positive qualities of your female side. Like, I am sexy, I am sensual, I am soft, I am vulnerable, I am creative. And it just really, I don't know, it works. I'm telling you, it works. So let's flip it over like a pancake on the griddle. Men. How you doing out there, my boys? How you doing there today, men? How about moisturizer? I'm thinking of getting some. Yes, that's great moisturizer. Definitely. So one of my guys is on the Facebook, and he's not mine, my friends, and he's talking about moisturizer. I agree. That's a great one for men. So I think that we're in 2019. I know we're in 2019, but I think that men are really beginning to open up, really beginning to tune into their emotional space, knowing that it's safe, knowing that they are allowed to do this, that it is acceptable and it is normal, right? So many of my male friends have suppressed their feelings, suppressed their emotions, don't express themselves. And all of a sudden they're maybe reading some different books about it or getting into men's groups about it. I just feel this shift is happening and it's so beautiful to witness. And I think it's just so, so, so important. So guys, here's some tips if you're like, I'm not sure what she's talking about. So getting into your feminine, how can you get into that? Let's see, you can reflect. reflect on your day at the end of the day and think of all the awesome things that happened during the day. Maybe there was like one huge win that you're like, yes, I'm so glad that this, unfolded, and it unfolded so nicely, and kind of just review, I guess, like how it felt, like in the inner feelings of yourself, right? That sense of joy, or that sense of pride, or that sense of excitement, because any emotions are a great place to connect into that feminine. And take time to listen, right? Listen on the inside. As men, things are like extroverted, you're doing, right? Again, you're tasking, and whether it's multitasking or single tasking, or you're just, you're in that logic of mindset. So it's, how can my guys out there be a little more reflective and really connect to what's going on the inside, and get creative. Here's a fun one for guys, right? So raise your hand, guys, if you're willing to dance around your living room to your favorite song, because I hope you're saying yes right now, because guess what? No one's freaking watching, okay? And then if your person is your partner, your spouse, your girlfriend, great. Even freaking better that you are in such a great place that you just can celebrate it. Like who really cares? It's like awesome. Like freaking dance around your living room naked. Like just do it, and make a commitment. Another way to get creative, you're like, oh hell, I'm not dancing around my living room. Okay, if you're not gonna, here's some other ways you can do it. Artistic expression, right? Painting, dancing, writing, just daydreaming a few ideas, and just really allowing the imagination to just go free and just be like, wow, this is amazing. So I think that's important. And then just to touch base again on the emotional stuff we were just talking about. Sometimes the emotional process can be confusing. You're like, I don't understand. But don't worry, you can learn to be more attuned with your emotions, guys. It doesn't have to be this one and done, or like, oh, if I don't do it right, I did it wrong. There's really no wrong way. It's once you, I think in my mind, if you make the shift of like, this is my intention, I'm going to tune into my emotional side. That means I'm going to feel what's in here, right? And even in your physiology, like you can feel it in your belly, you can feel it in your throat sometimes when things are coming up, and you're like, okay, cool. I can identify that as maybe I'm feeling upset or frustrated. Sometimes I get tight in my throat when I feel frustrated, and I can't speak what I want to speak. I can't feel like I communicate what I want to communicate. So really just getting attuned to yourself, and be compassionate. There is a huge masculine thing that I think we can all work on personally. Be compassionate with yourself, and be compassionate with other human beings. And really you start within. So start with listening within yourself, so that you can get these feelings and the knowing of like, oh yeah, that's me feeling sad, or that's me feeling excited, or whoa, that's what joy feels like, and oh, that's what anger feels like. I'm telling you, I know it sounds like almost simplistic, but the reality is if we don't practice these things, if we're not aware of these things, then we really don't know what's going on. We're just like, just kind of like, we're like a leaf in the wind just blowing by, and we're not really living our life to our absolute fullest potential. And I don't know about you, but that's where I want to live my life from. And I'm doing everything I can, which is my masculine energy. I just heard that out loud. But the reality is, just tuning into that and just knowing that I want to live a life of complete joy. And that is my biggest goal, to serve my purpose as a coach and just live in joy. So as you move towards the mastery of this law of gender, this balance will become more habitual, like you do with anything. You practice, like, remember when you were little, you were learning how to brush your teeth, and like the toothpaste was everywhere, and there's like drool down your face, and and you're just spitting it out in the sink, right? It was a hot mess. But I'm sure now at this point in your life, you've figured out how to brush your teeth more efficiently, right? More efficiently, more simply, less stuff everywhere. So that's my analogy for building in a healthy habit. And again, it just takes practice, just like anything else. And I know you've probably, I don't know, but I'm assuming that you've heard the saying, know thyself. And the more we can know ourselves, the more we can really relate to this law, so that we can keep ourselves in balance, just relating to that. It's important to note that the mental gender is not the same as the physical gender, right? So like I was saying earlier, some people have a certain physical gender and they relate to something else in their mental, right? They might feel differently, and that's cool, right? As long as you are aware of that, so you can express yourself with clarity and compassion to others, so that we can all understand each other the best we can. I think that's really cool. Ideally, we want to have a balance between all of these genders. The masculine principle is always in the direction of giving out and expressing, and in contents itself with the will, right? The will of doing, and these phrases or phases of life, right? In life, we're going through different phases, and hi. Oh, thanks for joining. Activate charcoal. Yes, toothpaste. Charcoal toothpaste. That sounds like a good one. Yes, I'm a big fan of electric toothbrushes. I've been using it for years, and I think it's kind of weird that people who still use regular toothbrushes, it takes too long, and I don't feel it's as efficient. Anyway, back to subject. The feminine principle is always in the direction of receiving. So masculines, a moment ago I mentioned that they're about giving out and expressing the contents itself of the will, right? They want you to feel safe and trusted, or allow you to feel that there's trust there. And women are in this space of receiving and creative, and supporting emotionally and things like that. So what else did I want to talk about? It's all about order, really. And I say the word order in a space of lightheartedness, because I think order can sound like an interesting word. And it's about finding your balance for where you're at in your life now. And that is so important, the now. I'm reading the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and it's just really, really beyond mind-blowing, because the reality is so many of us, including myself, we're living in the past of what was. We keep thinking about what's next, but we're forgetting that right now is the most important part of our lives. Right now, today, this beautiful day that you were gifted with. You woke up this morning, I woke up this morning, and here we are together having this conversation. Like, such a beautiful exchange that we get to have. And I know sometimes technology can be a big headache or stressor. I know it is for me sometimes, as maybe things aren't working right. But the reality is, look what it's given us. Look what technology has done for us, that we can connect with anyone all over the world, any time of the day for the most part, and just really enjoy this exchange. So really just being in the place of now. So wherever you're at in your masculine or feminine, whether you're male or female, recognize that we want the balance between these two places, the sun and the moon, the masculine and feminine, the left brain and the right brain. These are so important. This is why I decided to end this beautiful experience of universal law with you all with gender, because it really is just about creating peace between all of us, masculine and feminine, male and female, so that we can better understand each other, that we can better love each other and appreciate each other. And that's the kind of life I'm cultivating, and it's so, so, so important. So honor where you're at right now, whether you need to be a little softer and work into that feminine side, or whether maybe you need to pick it up a notch and get a little more connected to your masculine side. Honor that wherever you're at and feel into it. Okay, your body, your physiology will tell you so. And then I feel that the simplest way to do that, if you're like, I don't even know how to start by sitting in stillness and just working on your breath. And I promise you, if you sat for 10 minutes, you'd probably find so many beautiful things to explore when you came out of that meditation or that still. Yeah, so I would suggest to start there. So there's my share today. What more beautiful than the sunrise? Yes, the sunrise and the sunset, right? The masculine and feminine, bringing out the sun, going into the moon, and just relishing in that light, whether it's from the sun or the moon. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. If you missed our other chats for Universal Law, they're all on my IGTV. They're actually on my feed as well, and they're all on my Facebook page. So go back and take a look. I want to start another conversation, so I think it's going to be on anxiety and depression and really finding our way through this, because I know it's something I struggled with, so it's something I can really speak from the heart about. And then I have a meditation. I'm going to offer a course, and I'll be announcing that as well next week. So if you want something to do right now, and there's a masculine, but we got to step into it. So I have a free 7-day a free starter kit on my website, and it's in my link in my bio. It's on my page. You can find it at fullfitmindbody.com, and it's basically a free PDF download where you can get incredible information to really get yourself in a place of balance. And the balance again is, today we're talking about masculine and feminine, but it really is between your physical, mental, and emotional space. And this incredible PDF will give you all of that. It's very simple, it's very easy. It's a 7-day starter kit, and it's actually super fun. I don't know, I thought it's super fun. Yeah, so there you go, guys. I hope you have an incredible day, and big hugs, lots of love to all of you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.